In a rapidly expanding omniverse of sci-fi content, two Terrans try to make sense of it all. From the latest to the greatest to the most thought-provoking science fiction content on the screen, we bring you Crowded Space Podcast.
I'm Eric, your host.
And I'm your other host, Jared.
We're at episode 17, Mandolorian Season 3, First Contact.
Yeah, so today we'll be giving our kind of first impressions of the very first episode of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, Season 3. So what'd you think about that opening scene?
I'm chomping at the bit, like, is he almost done? Is he almost done? Can I go? Dude, amazing. Simply amazing. Like, I never get tired of Mandalorian. I never get tired of it. I watched like all of them. I even like cringed through Boba Fett to get through, through the second.
Yeah, that was unnecessary. I think I'm pretty sure you just need to watch those 3 episodes with Mando in them, and that's all the Boba Fett you really need to watch.
Well, it was taken terribly, so they had Favreau come in and say, "Hey, we need to bring it back." So what he does is he took part of season 3 and put it in the last set of it.
It certainly felt like that. I didn't know that was.
Yeah, that's what happened.
What it actually happened.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like nobody liked the show because it's an old guy sitting in a tank for half the time, right? And he's having a daydream.
I'm like, no more flashbacks. And then
don't get me wrong, I liked the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was the only cool thing about it.
I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Let's move on. Yeah. What happens?
We need 3 episodes of that.
Oh, you're nice now, I guess. Okay. Yeah. All right.
But anyways, we're not talking about Boba Fett. Man, no, dude.
Yeah, that opening scene.
Oh my God, it blew my mind, dude. And it was like, what's going on? And all of a sudden that thing comes out of the water, whatever the hell that was, and sea turtles.
And speaking of flashbacks, I was like, oh, is this Mando getting his helmet on and reliving the moment because now he's taking
that's
it
what
off.
I thought too. Yeah.
Like,
was totally
he doesn't look that much like him, but what do you know? And then I'm like, nope, this is just a.
Then he comes in. Oh, dude, it was so awesome. Come on, it was so awesome. It was the best. And again, it went right from season 2.5 of Boba Fett.
Yeah, and a great example reminding the audience of what zealots they are. Like, look, I just came in here, pretty much saved all your butts for not backing down from this impossible fight. And I'm still not a member of your clan because I took my helmet off.
I know, right?
Essentially save this kid's life.
Yeah, I want to take my helmet and go elsewhere. How about that? I get it. You have to have some sort of.
This is his whole life. He's in dark.
It is his whole. Yeah, it definitely is. You can see that exactly. You got a great point.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. You can see the cult thing, and it totally does that.
Yeah, and again, it's if you want to talk about modern sci-fi and using it to take a look at what's going on in our own society. That's why I love Mando's character.
Yeah,
is because there's a lot of religious people that have grown up a lot like him, sheltered. They've been told this is the way.
Yeah, true.
Essentially.
True, very true.
And luckily only through having exchanges and experiences with other people that they do realize, there's a lot more to the world than what I've been taught. And and change the world view, which is exactly what's happening to the Mando, and it's a very slow, gradual process. Right? He's still clinging. He's like, he took his helmet off, he broke that, but he still wants to go back and redeem himself,
right,
and go right back into the comfort of his
Dude,
religion.
That's perfect. You just said it. Like it's. And then he gets judged by people that are outside, right? And that's usually what happens.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The person who he, Bo-Katan, obviously, I think is who we're talking about here.
Yeah.
He whipped her so good and stole her prized possession before she could.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's all falling apart.
And then she kind of gave him shit about his, beliefs. But here she is sitting by herself, right? He goes to the castle and she's all by herself, like lounging around.
Yeah.
Right,
it's a whole mood in and of itself, or just chilling there.
It was funny. The beginning was amazing. And I love the fact that they're diving into the religion of that. So now you kind of understand what Mando is going through, with him in his past with the Children of the Watch,
Mm-hmm.
with how it's a cult, and now it's the only thing he knows from the
Yeah, it
beginning.
was perfect opening scene for
Yeah.
for season 3.
Yeah,
No doubt.
beautiful. It was amazing. Yeah. What about the next part? What do you think about when he went to what the planet Navarro?
Yeah, the time on Navarro was definitely fun to get our first glimpse at the space pirates. Again, amazing CG, or I don't know. I guess that was CG. It was so amazing on the pirates. It was hard to tell.
Yeah,
if
it was, wasn't it?
Really good prosthetics.
Well, they did hire
or
that
what.
guy that did the deep fakes on the internet.
Yeah.
So when he fixed up Luke Skywalker, and they're like, "We're gonna hire you now," and he got a job working for them.
Yeah, it could be he's good at alien faces too.
It was
Something's
so
working.
good. Yeah, the whole storyline there was good as well, and it brings it back to the first season too, of when they had the droid, the IG droid.
Did you notice
11.
they even brought up Cara Dune's character right off the bat? They didn't waste any time at Century.
No, and that's my static for that. Like, amazing character. She did an amazing job from what she was, from being she's not really she's not a named actress. Okay, she does some good parts. She's really good at kicking ass.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a damn shame that they have to let politics dictate what the fans want.
Yeah,
and what
Gina
this-
Carano's, I'd say, peak acting is in Haywire, which is definitely worth watching.
Yeah, I've watched that one.
She held
as
her
per your
own
suggestion.
in Mando, which is actually saying a lot because
Oh, yeah.
it's a hell of a cast and crew.
Yeah.
But this is the way that I see it. Listen, you're on the Disney train,
Yeah.
making Disney bucks,
That's
making
true.
Disney fame. Disney says, get in line. Well, you get in line. And hey, if she wants to fight the good fight and she believes in what she posted, then all the more power to her. But I think she's been wearing her big girl pants about the whole situation. She's like, hey, I did X and Y happened, and now I'm doing Z. And
But don't count your don't. It's not the sunset for her yet. I heard some rumblings about that.
well, what they said, that she joined the elite squad or whatever
Yeah.
is right in line with what they were planning to do with her character anyway.
Yeah.
So it explains why she's not there now.
Yeah.
And leaves the door
The Rangers
open.
of the New Republic, I think it was.
Yeah, I know. I really appreciate how they handled it.
Yeah, because initially she was in 1 and 2. She did an amazing job. You really can't. Her character became like instantly part of the group, like part of the cast. Then that happened. Whoever however you feel about it. I personally, whatever, But I feel like I said, I've heard that there's some rumblings that it don't counter out just yet. I think she might return in the future with the Rangers of the New Republic if Favreau has his way, because I heard that he's fighting for her. So maybe with the new CEO of Disney, they might change all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of hers back when she was fighting. That's how
Yeah.
I originally knew her.
Yeah.
And honestly, her fights is what got me back into watching modern MMA. I wish nothing but the best for her, but she made some decisions, and I think she knew what the repercussions were. But yeah, her character will be missed. But honestly, it does just fine without her.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
doesn't like, you're not like, oh my gosh, where's that character
Yeah,
at?
I was
Where's
like, oh,
character
there's
doing
a
that?
huge hole. It's
No,
like,
we're
oh,
moving
that
on.
was cool.
She went away.
I do hope we see Bill Burr back in season 3. His character
He was really good.
awesome.
Yeah, in season 2 really made
I
those
actually
episodes.
thought it went from what's this Joker doing on here to wow, the amount of character development we saw in Mando because of Bill Burr. I want to see more of that, and his jokes were perfect. It didn't take me out of the scene.
No.
He felt like a part of the Star Wars universe, like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I would like to see more of that. But hey, I'm happy seeing Carl Weathers back as now the High Magistrate.
Did you like the little droids that are holding his cape?
Yeah, it's a nice little touch. I think
love
it's
it.
shown,
I love it.
self-important he's got
I love it,
here.
dude.
So we'll see what trouble he gets
He's got that
himself
Lando
into.
thing going on. I freaking love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, I've been excited about this ever since I heard it was coming out in March. And This is my Star Wars right here.
Right.
This-
I'll be honest. After the prequels, I was so hurt about looking forward to anything to do with Star Wars that I'm like, never again. I won't let myself be hurt again. I'll just be disappointed. And then like the Mandalorian is something that I can look forward to, and almost without fail, it delivers.
Dude, it delivers.
It delivers. So
It delivers.
Thanks.
Yeah, Favreau and
that.
Filoni, and even Lucas is on this. I mean, you see the behind the scenes. Lucas is there. They're all hanging out. They're all asking him, like, and that's how it should be. That's how it should be, Kennedy. This is how you do Star Wars.
Yeah. Just make sure Lucas is there.
Yeah.
But, you know,
As you know, somebody
not
hanging
too
out. Like I
close
said,
to the
like I
camera,
said, like I
but,
said, he
you
was
know.
hanging out there. He
Yeah,
was hanging out.
within earshot. Not hands on, but you know. Within,
I think it was more like, "Hey, Lucas, you got my coffee?
Yeah. No, you should be seen and not heard.
You got my coffee, man."
Oh.
Got like what, 3 billion or something like that? Hey, he's bringing coffee to the set. Whatever.
Yeah. No, but I like that what they did again with his character, even though it does seem like he's gotten a little self-important. Sorry, talk about
let's go back.
the High Magistrate.
Yeah.
And the trouble that's brewing there. But I still appreciate how they brought in the whole politics of we're
Yes.
trying to be an independent free trade area, that we're not gonna have allegiance. We finally just kicked the imps out, so we don't want them back. But at the same time, we're not so keen on the rebels because there's some strings attached there too.
Yeah.
So
Dude, it's
but maybe he should know better if there's these sort of pirates hanging out. Maybe he should
well, they didn't know. They just they decided to come visit the place because it was probably their hangout.
Well, that's why, yeah,
And then
he's
he
so
was
excited
like-
that Mando was back. He's like,
Yeah.
yes, that solves my number one problem. I finally got some guns.
If I would have been
Oh.
like, man, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take your plot at the lake, no problem. I'll bathe in those waters. How about that?
Right.
Who cares about some stinking mine water from Mandalore?
Yeah, but how many times did you say, just punch it, before you get away from the pirates?
I know I did.
Just punch it.
Punch it, Grogu.
Like, come on, just punch it.
And
And,
the-
when he finally did, it was so rewarding. And,
Yeah,
it's like,
and the
oh.
whole scene, again, I love the asteroids because it's like homage to Star Wars. You have to have asteroids in there at some point. And I love the whole scene with him and the pirates is just, I just enjoyed the hell out of it. I think it was great. The whole chase scene.
Yeah, both on the ground and then continuing the fight in space.
Dude, it
was really, really nice
Yeah.
touch. Yeah, and him kind of swaying in and out and picking them off one by one. Because I was like, ooh, I don't know. He's just going to have to punch it.
Punch it,
I don't
Grogu,
see a
punch
way
it.
out of this. Yeah.
And I like how
didn't see a way out, but-
Grogu's kind of coming into his own too now a little bit with like he put his seatbelt on because he knew he was going to go fast. Did you see
yeah.
that when he had he kind of got himself strapped in before they started engaging the
Nice
the
detail.
pirates?
Yeah, I didn't
Oh, you
notice
didn't catch that, dude? It was that
I
was so
definitely
good.
noticed him using the force just to spin himself around on the chair. I'm like, that's the way to the dark side of the force, Grogu.
We left it behind, man. Come on, you left Luke. He chose the Mandalorian instead of staying with Luke. Remember, he had to make a
Right.
choice in season 2.
No, I'm just saying
What-
that he's using his.
Yeah, with the little chainmail onesie or the friggin' lightsaber.
Yeah. Have we seen that on?
Yeah, I saw it on him. Yep. There's a
He's-
scene
I
that
feel
you
like
see
he
a
should just
close
be wearing
up.
it 24/7.
He's got it
It's
underneath
under
his
Okay,
he has
nice.
it underneath his cloak.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's gonna come into play. He's gonna take a hit. We're all gonna go, oh, and it's gonna be like, look.
Yeah, I got my little plate. On.
Yeah.
Dude, it is so good. The Pirates was a good addition because I like the fact that they brought that in. The whole the dark, seedy.
Yeah, I mean they're done whipping the imp's ass in the area, so who's
There's
gonna
nobody
be the
there,
next big
yeah.
space baddie?
There's no Marshall there anymore either.
And and the pirates, like you said, are a great choice. And they're out on the outer rim. It makes sense.
Yeah,
that
and it was a
they're
lot.
gonna
It
run
was a
into
big
trouble.
thing too in Rebels too, and in the Clone Wars cartoon, there was Hondo was a pirate in there, and they really did a lot on his storyline where he was kind of like the gray. Is he a villain or is he not a villain type type of character, but I really think the addition to the pirates really brought that back with the whole, and again with Filoni being one of the directors, then that's understandable why he would choose that as something to go to.
Yeah, and then just the pirate captain, it was just so refreshing to see kind of a new take on an alien, kind of mossy, a little bit like Swamp Thing, but not really, still his own thing. And
and I like that because we're in Star Wars, it's sci-fi. We're in outer space. We're not just like a bunch of humans walking around. It's other things, other creatures.
Just think about that today. Like Star Wars is not afraid to throw in an extra weird language or something you don't understand, and to introduce a crazy ass alien.
Yeah,
love it.
It kind of reminded me of like Pizza the Hut, except you had green moss on instead.
Oh no, yeah, we don't talk about that movie. No, Spaceballs is fine.
Switch me with you.
I was definitely had my ultra fan period where like I can't stand this. I love Star Wars too much to take a joke about it. That's changed. It's still funny. It's got some great
So what
scenes.
other things you liked about it?
Oh geez, I think we hit a lot most all the high notes. You know, I could have used for more Grogu for sure. I'm still looking forward to seeing a ship upgrade like we talked before. I'd like for him to have a little bit more room, but at least Grogu can go down from his little pod.
I love that. He goes
and hang
so
out. The other scene that I actually really loved was when Grogu's seeing or imagining, we don't know.
No, they're real.
The hyperspace.
Yeah, they're space whales.
The space whales. Okay. I'm like, I thought I remember.
Is it Pergassi?
Something.
Perjules? Something like that. Anyway, it's in Rebels.
And him getting a little freaked out. I was like, I'm gonna snuggle up with Daddy.
Yeah,
you know.
So it's kind of like things to come from Rebels, because at the end, towards the end of that's how they defeat the Empire, as they use those space whales, and that's how one of the characters, well, I won't say who, but they kind of vanish, or he or she went with the Force whales.
Okay.
And they can travel. They're the only creatures that can travel. I guess they're one of the oldest creatures in all of the universe, and they can travel hyperspace lanes.
Yeah.
And that's where you get this from.
Yep. Okay.
Just a little.
That's great that there's some backstory to it. I was like, that seems familiar, but yeah, I didn't.
It was
I
from
don't remember
Rebels.
for
So I
sure.
think it's kind of like a thing to go into Ahsoka at some point, since Ahsoka's coming out soon, ish. So I think it's.
Yeah. So I guess I'm curious. How long are they gonna draw out his whole swimming in the waters of the Forge?
I hope it's not like for 8 episodes.
Yeah, is it going to be the whole series, or is he going to be taking a bath here and
okay, we're done. See you in 2 years.
Well, you know, I figured he's going to be leading the army here, the Mandalorians, with his dark sword, with or without the help of Bo-Katan here soon
Or will they
enough.
fight?
You think so?
Maybe.
Why didn't she jump him right then and there?
Yeah, like why would you turn your? He's like turns his back and starts walking down, and she's
like,
just laying on the couch. Like, I would never turn my back to her ever.
My whole life has gone to shit because of you.
Yeah. Why don't you
All I
swing
have
that
to do is beat your ass, take the sword, and maybe I can get it back. Okay, bye.
And then he just walks out. Dude, don't turn your back on her. You don't know what she's gonna do.
Again, you know, she had her feet up. She's given up.
Yeah.
She needs a pep talk.
I don't know. Maybe he's gonna do the pep talk or something.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to see him fighting. She would have done it already, but
Because remember when he was training in season 2 with the Darksaber,
not so good.
How heavy it was. And I hope it's just the same way. Like, you shouldn't be able to swing that shit around like a Jedi. Because a Jedi has force training too. When he or she uses the lightsaber, they have the force as well as their ally to use it. So they kind of makes it a little easier for them to learn how to use it. But if you have none of that, you just like swinging it like a bat, it's not gonna work.
Oh, right.
I mean, even when when he chopped the Tauntaun up, right, to put Luke in and Empire Strikes Back, he had a hard time with the lightsaber. It was kind of like, you know, a little clumsy with it, which is a good thing.
Yeah. And I guess conversely, Finn was a little too good at it, though I do.
Oh, yeah, the Gideon was, he had it. Remember, he had the Darksaber?
Right.
In season.
Right.
Yeah, so he was
but
good
he was
with
also, who knows how much of Grogu's blood he injected, so he could have easily been kind of force sensitive.
Yeah.
And the whole thing Finn is supposed to be force sensitive too. I think
Yeah,
is where they
Finn.
were going
Yep.
with that character, but
He was, and then he wasn't. Then he was, and then he just disappeared. Like,
yeah.
what a miss. Anyway, we won't talk about
Yeah,
those.
I'm
'Cause
like,
those
no.
don't exist.
Moving on. Yeah. So did you have some other points that you liked, or anything that you're looking forward to in the rest of season 3?
The one thing I agree with you is I hope it's not all about dipping his toes in the waters, and that's the whole season. Like, I hope it's more because they're setting up. I see a few little storylines coming up here and there, like putting the droid together, and then of course they had the little aliens that from that movie. That the only good thing that came out of those movies that did the
Jeez.
that was gonna put the droid back, put IG-11 back together.
Yeah.
And there's kind of a quest for that. So I'm liking those little storyline quest things he's got that Favreau and Filoni have going on because it breaks it up. It breaks it up because you can't go.
It breaks it up, but it still feels like it's progressing, right? He's getting closer to his goal, some minor setbacks, and then he, the characters develop so much during these little side quests that,
and they've done so well the last 2 seasons that I have full confidence that they're gonna pull something that's gonna blow my mind.
Still got to see what Christopher Lloyd's character is gonna do. So, all right, well, thanks everyone for joining us this week. Signing off, I'm your other host, Jared,
and I'm your host, Eric.
Reminding everyone that it's not the destination,
it's the journey. Take care.
If you like what you heard, spread the word.
Later.
Sounds